Okay. So on this demo, we're going to talk about this agenda. So introduction for everyone. So I see that many of you are already working on the PowerCenter, and we're going to talk about the Informatica introduction and what is the cloud computing, and we're going to compare the differences between PowerCenter and the IICS. Okay, and terminologies are actually different between Informatica PowerCenter versus the cloud. So we're going to talk about that, and number of companies that are currently using IICS. So I just listed few of them, but there are a ton of them are already started using. And what would be the future of this Informatica PowerCenter Cloud, Informatica Cloud, and what we are going to cover on this training and lab setup. So I'll give you a quick demo on the mass ingestion. Let's start with the introduction of the Informatica. So I see most of you are already working, but still, I just want to give you an overview of what Informatica as a company does. So Informatica is a development of software development company. It actually offers several data integration products, like the PowerCenter, MDM, IDQ. They're like a big data management. So there are like tons of products available within the. Sai or Rahul, can you guys go on mute if you guys are not talking? Let me mute them. Okay, sorry about that. So Informatica offers several data integration softwares like the MDM, PowerCenter, Big Data, Informatica Data Quality. So in this training, we're going to talk about Informatica PowerCenter. So PowerCenter is a local on-premises software which we were using for the data integration purposes. Right now, everyone moved in the process of moving from PowerCenter to the cloud. Okay. So I'm just talking about the Informatica PowerCenter. So for the person who doesn't know what is the PowerCenter, I just want to give you a quick overview of what is the PowerCenter and why we used PowerCenter first. Then we'll go from there. Okay. So let me just. For the guys who doesn't know, so Informatica is an ETL tool. So ETL meaning it's a standard extraction, transformation, and loading. So this is what we call it as a ETL. So Informatica gives us ability.
Screens to be stuck, sir. You are typing something, right?
Oh, you don't see my. Oh, okay. Okay. Do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was writing on this notepad. So Informatica is an ETL tool, ETL meaning extraction, transformation, and loading. So what Informatica does using the PowerCenter is it extracts the data, and extraction meaning, reading the data from some place. So either it can be like files, it can be a table, or XML files, anything. So it can connect to any database, it can connect to any flat files or any type of file. So it can just read the data from one source system, so one source system or one database, and then it can modify the data. So modify the data meaning, if the data that you have in the system might be like not useful for the business purposes. So we need to modify the data in a such a way that it can be useful for reporting purposes. So I'll explain one example in here. And once you modify the data, right, so you need to load the data into a target system where it will be useful for the business reporting purposes. So let's say I have a table called first name and last name. So in the first name, I have like, Mahesh, and in the last name, I have Informatica. So I want to load this data to my target, and I don't want two separate fields. I just want the full name. So when I want the full name, I want the complete name, like Mahesh Infra. So this is my full name, right? So in order to achieve this scenario, what we use this is in the Informatica. So we read this data. So we read first name and we read last name. And transformation meaning we're going to combine these two columns. So this data with this data. So we're just going to combine this with this. So that is what we call it as a transformation, meaning modifying the data. So we're trying to prepare the data in a way that can be useful, meaningful. And once you're done doing this transformation, so we're going to load the data, complete data into a single column instead of like multiple columns. So full name meaning you'll have your complete name here. Okay, so that is what the ETL stands for, and most of the concepts are like similarly what we do in the ETL. Okay, so Informatica does this ETL. So right now we were using this Informatica PowerCenter, which is a local desktop or on-premises software, which we were using. But right now everybody started going to a cloud. So Informatica has its own cloud technology, Informatica Data Integration, which is the replacement of the PowerCenter in native. So we're going to talk about PowerCenter and also the data integration. So am I clear on this part, or do you guys have any questions before I move to next?
So why it is moving to like cloud? Whatever we are doing in PowerCenter, we will be doing in IICS also, like mappings or all the things.
Yeah, whatever you are doing in PowerCenter, yes, we will do the almost similar things, but there are some additional options, additional features we have in the cloud. So we're going to do additional features. To answer your question specifically, why we are going to cloud is because the PowerCenter, it's not only PowerCenter going into cloud. So if you talk about Amazon, AWS, Amazon, Microsoft Azure, so they have their own cloud technologies now, and PowerCenter is like a native tool. So it needs to connect to the cloud databases, and it needs to integrate with the other cloud technologies, right? So that is where they started the cloud. So it's not now. So they've been doing this from like almost 5 years or 6 years now.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So this is the earlier architecture of, the overall how the cloud is interacting with the other softwares, and how many different, I would say, the different type of integrations that is supported by Informatica Cloud. So we have data integration, we have big data management, cloud data management, data quality, IDQ, master data management, and data security. So these are the several services that are offering from Informatica. So mostly we're going to talk about only on this data integration part, but there are several others as well, BDM, data quality, and MDM as well. So it's part of, everything is part of one Informatica Cloud. So on the cloud side, right? So these are the different type of services we have. So on-premises meaning the system that you have. Let's talk about the PowerCenter to give you an understanding of what is the on-premises database or on-premises services. So on-premises meaning you have to install your server on your own machines, like and you need to connect your Oracle database or different databases. So you need to take care of everything. It's just not only installing applications. So you need to take care of your networking, meaning how your network is connected to your servers, and you need to manage your storage, meaning how much storage you need to have to run anything on your Informatica, right? Let's say if you have like a big data, then you need to take care of your storage and servers, meaning to run your Informatica, you need to take care of your servers also, meaning you need to specifically create some Linux boxes to install the servers, right? So everything on this on-premises is what we were doing on the PowerCenter. So we have to install our service softwares, we have to take care of the networking, we have to take care of storage, everything, right? So that is what we call it as on-premises. But if you talk about the cloud, so infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, meaning, so we have so many cloud technologies on the right side. If you see AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. So these are the top 3 companies that are offering several services on the cloud. So on-premises meaning, let's say, if there is any problem on around the, let's say you install your servers in some specific location in Hyderabad, and there is some outage on that, like you have some tornadoes or rain, or you have some power outages, right? So you need to handle everything. So you need to take care of everything, and you need to make sure servers are up and running every 24/7, right? So that's your responsibility. Let's say if you move to the cloud, you don't have to worry about handling of your servers. I mean, you don't have to worry that server might going to shut down or server will have some outages. No, you don't have to worry about that. So that is why we have a cloud in place now. So infrastructure as a service, meaning they will give you the networking, they will give you the service storage, and they will give you the servers, and they will give you the virtualization. So all these 4 things, they will take care of it. You don't have to worry about handling the service. You don't have to worry about how much data I need. So let's say you install like a 1 terabyte of storage in your server, and you're running out of storage, meaning you got some new data and it's going to occupy. So how do you install new storage? So you have to buy some new hard disk again, and you need to install it again. So that will be like a headache process, right, to handling that storage. But if you take any these cloud services, right, they will handle the storage. As soon as you are running out of the storage, right, they can increase the storage for you so that your server won't break down. And your servers, they will be up and running 24/7, no matter what. So because they have like servers installed in multiple places on the cloud. So it's their headache on where they will install, but no matter what, these servers will up and running 24/7. And the networking standpoint, so they can give you a full network access, the service that you're going to take. So they will give you the network access as well. So Informatica Cloud fits in this bucket, like infrastructure as a service. So it will give you the server, it will give you the storage, it will give you the networking. But the others that are not highlighted here, so applications, data, runtime, middleware, and operating system, you need to take care of these ones. So what I mean is, like, let's say you install, you have this Informatica Cloud. So you need to connect to your local Oracle systems, right? So that means you are managing your data. And let's say you can run this from your Windows machines or anywhere like Linux machines as well. So you need to take care of these, like handling the applications and how much data that you want. So everything that sits in this bucket, you need to manage. And Informatica Cloud actually falls in this. So there are several other services as well. So platform as a service, it's a PaaS. So platform as a service meaning they will give you everything, so including the runtime, middleware, and operating system. So they will give you everything. So all you have to manage is your applications that you're going to build on that, and also the data. And software as a service is like they will give you the complete everything. All you have to do is you just plug into your sources and you plug into your systems basically. So they will give you the applications, they will give you data, storage related. Okay. So these three, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, they offer all of them: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So they offer all the three. Okay. So right now the Informatica Cloud is in this place. So it just offers only the servers and storage, and it offers the networking. But rest of them we have to connect using our own. Okay. So let's move on to this next slide.
Yes.
So
Hi, Mahesh. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I'm Ravi here. See,
hi.
the previous slide, what you've shown, right? AWS and Azure and GCP. So when we compare with our IICS Informatica Cloud either with Azure or GCP, so thing is like
Mhm.
the same thing. Whatever we are doing in IICS ETL thing, the same concept. Like let's say we are using in let's take an example Azure. We were using some
Mhm.
ADF or some Databricks. So there also some we
Mhm.
are using some code and we are doing some same ETL activity on based on the clusters, creating some nodes and configuring such things. So there
Yeah.
also it is taking care of all those things, right? The same way the
Yeah.
GCP also taking care of the servers by itself, and we are not supporting, right, as SaaS, as you said. So what is the
Yeah.
major differences between our IICS and with the existing Azure and GCP? So is there, which means our Informatica Cloud, which is better than our GCP and Azure? Is any
Okay.
difference? Just I want to know.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you. So on the Azure part and the Google Cloud and the AWS, we are currently offering not only the data integration, they are offering more than data integration softwares, right? So AWS offers several
Yeah,
things. So you go to EC2, you can have a Lambda functions, you have Redshift, you have AWS Glue is similar to what we are doing on the data integration service. So AWS offers
yeah,
complete services, but in the Informatica Cloud, it offers only the data integration service tools like PowerCenter and the data integration, right? But if you talk about the Azure, so Azure was in the industry for a long time, and before Azure is from the Microsoft. So Microsoft has its own data integration tool, which is like IICS. Right now, they have the Azure Data Factory, which is ADF, and they're connecting with the database, right? So
yeah,
they
yeah.
have their own tools, and Azure also offer computing, and GCP also offer computing. But if you compare Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud with the Informatica, right? So Informatica doesn't offer the cloud computing on the uh, server instances like EC2, what we are getting from the AWS, right? So it doesn't offer any of those services. What it offers is, so what he is doing is whatever the services that it has already, they're just migrating them to a cloud. So like the PowerCenter to a data integration. So PowerCenter has the major client base than compared to your ADF or the Azure Glue, because it sits in the industry for a long time. So this ADF and the AWS Glue is like a recent ones, but the PowerCenter has been there from a long time. So that is why PowerCenter also, shifting their gaze to the cloud, so providing the PowerCenter to our data integration.
So is it like clients are more interested in PowerCenter, even though we have Azure or GCP and all? So since our clients are already means involved in this, because of that, uh,
So it
still
depends
they
on
are
client to client.
existing.
So right, it depends on the client to client. So let's say his client is started using EC2 instances on the AWS front, right? So he might be looking at the options on the AWS Glue as a data integration tool. But the clients that are not currently using any of these Azure or AWS or Google Cloud, right? So they will stick to the what Informatica PowerCenter is offering. So Informatica offers this every year. They will handle they will have this conference, Informatica World Conference. So I attended this year on May in Las Vegas. So I've been to that conference, and there are like more than 50,000 clients they have on the PowerCenter, and they are really interested to migrate everything from PowerCenter to the cloud. So what was that major topic in that conference was migrating their PowerCenter clients to the cloud, just to be in coping with Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS. So if you don't know that GCP is also offering some of the services within IICS, so they do have that partnership as well. So it's not that Google Cloud is different, and so GCP also have some connectors, and GCP have their own partnership with the Informatica Cloud.
Yes. So each way, yeah, we are correct. I understood.
So he has this like 50,000 clients are already using PowerCenter. So just not to miss them, so he started using this data integration as a cloud. So people really interested in the Informatica Cloud, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Mahesh.
If you go to a different Azure ADF, right? So it will be something new for it. Some big really working on PowerCenter. So
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Could you explain about the application integration?
I didn't understand that. Can you repeat it again?
Yeah, could you explain about the cloud application integration?
I'm having hard time to hear. Can you just be loud?
Cloud application integration.
Cloud application
Yeah,
integration, CAI. Yes. So I will give you like at least 4 sessions of cloud application integration. So you will have an understanding of what CAI and how to create an API, so how to access the API. I will give you that. Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I want that classes about that one.
I'm not sure. I didn't hear you properly, but yes. So I'm going to offer CDI and CAI also, the cloud application integration also. Yes, if that's what your question is.
Hello.
So can you ping your question in the chat? I'm having a hard time hearing you on this.
Yeah, just could you explain about application integration, cloud application integration? This introduction I want.
You want the introduction of cloud application integration?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So right now on this demo, so we have so many people on this PowerCenter, right? So I'm going to talk about this demo for now, and I will give you the curriculum on what I'm going to cover on the CAI also.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to this. So Informatica on-premises versus the Informatica Cloud. So on the left side, you guys see that the Informatica on-premises. So earlier we have this 4 different client tools: Informatica PowerCenter Designer, Workflow Manager, Monitor, Repository Manager, right? So, and we can set this up in a Linux or Windows servers, so depending on the client requirements. So we have to we have these options. But in the cloud, right, so you don't have to worry about installing this on your machines. So all you have to have on your servers or on your desktops to access the Informatica Cloud or to connect to your local system. So you just have to install this secure agent. So secure agent will make sure to connect to your databases on your servers or in your local machines. So if you talk about your current laptops, so you just have to install secure agent. So using that secure agent, you'll be able to connect your Oracle or SQL, SQL servers, or any of the databases that you have on your laptops. So on this PowerCenter, we were using like multiple tools, but in the cloud, all we have is only one data integration, and we don't have like multiple client applications. So it's just a one data integration, which is the replacement of all these third. Okay, and so using this cloud can actually work with on-premises databases as well as the cloud databases like the Amazon Redshift or Salesforce, Google BigQuery. It can connect to your local databases and also the cloud databases. So, but using the PowerCenter is also, you can actually connect to cloud databases and also the native databases, but you have to buy a connector. So on the on-premises, we were actually handling this repository databases. So if you guys remember, so we have this repository manager and we have to install this repository manager or repository databases in our Oracle server or Oracle database or somewhere, so that all of the objects that we are working on the Informatica, right, everything was saving in the repository, right? So we don't have to do that on the cloud. So you don't have to manage this repository database at all on the Informatica Cloud, because Informatica will take care of it. So you don't have to create a separate database for your repository to manage that. And so in terms of the licensing, so Informatica PowerCenter was offering a yearly licensing based on usage, but here on the cloud, the licensing terms have actually changed. So this is like a pay for what you use, meaning, so if you talk about any electricity bill, so you just pay the bill how much you use the electricity, so right? So the same way, if you use more, you pay more. If you use less, you pay less. So that's how the licensing terms have changed. And you don't have to stick for like a yearly licensing. So in the PowerCenter, you have to take a yearly annual licensing, but in here, you don't have to do that. So all you have to do is pay for what you use. That's it.
Hi,
So these are the
Mahesh. Hello.
Yes. Yes.
What type in this course? What type of sources you are going to use, Mahesh? Like here, there are so many sources, no? That is flat file and Salesforce
Okay.
and Redshift.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to work with files and SQL, Oracle or MySQL, and Salesforce as a cloud connection.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're
Thanks.
going to do that. Yeah. So terminology is changed a bit in the in Informatica Cloud. So right now in IICS, meaning Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services, and right now earlier it used to be IICS. Right now they actually changed it to IDMC. So they rebranded this IICS to IDMC, Informatica Data Management Cloud. So under this brand name, everything else sits in the place. Like so under this IDMC, they will have a data integration, data quality, big data management. Everything will sit under this brand name now. So earlier it used to be IICS, but now it's like a IDMC is the main one, and everything else sits under this. So CDI meaning cloud data integration. So data integration is nothing but the replacement of our Informatica PowerCenter. So cloud application integration, CAI. So where you can have flexibility of connecting to multiple applications for using the APIs, REST APIs, or SOAP APIs. So data quality. So we have the IDQ in native databases, but in the cloud, so we have a cloud data quality. Okay, so and DSS meaning data synchronization task. So synchronization meaning, you know, you are so if you guys heard about this, what do you call synchronization? So I just want to relate this with any native application. So CDC change data capture. So related to that data capture in a real time. Okay. The task is earlier we used to call that as a sessions, right? So we have mapping task as a session as a replacement, and we have this feature of mass ingestion. So mass ingestion meaning, you know, you can put this complete data on a bulk from one place to another place. Okay, and
Mahesh, are we means we are covering only one topic or in the first slide? So are we covering all
yes,
these topics like cloud data quality and all?
in the demo you meaning
Sorry,
today
Mahesh.
or what?
Hi,
Means
Mahesh.
in the
Are you
means
asking?
in the course angle. So in this course we are covering all these topics. So data
So
quality
in this
check and all.
course, we're going to talk about data integration and data application integration in a cloud application integration, CAI and CADI. So this mass ingestion, this is just a terminology, and I'll cover the mass ingestion also. And I will cover everything except this data quality actually. Right.
Okay. Yeah. And one more thing means
Yeah.
in this IICS, all these are works as a services. Mahesh, there's a different things that we need to make active. All these things which are already exist in this IICS, or we need to take it from outside. This cloud data quality and all.
So it's already there. All you have to do is take the 30 days free trial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll show you. So we can use like so every service comes with a 30 days free trial. So whenever you want to, let's say you want to explore any data quality services, right? So you just opt for 30 days free trial and you can use it. So right now what we're going to do is the same thing. So we're going to take a 30 days free trial on the CDI. I mean, I already have one, but I'll take one more while starting from Monday. So I'll take one more to set up from the beginning. So it will offer 30 days free trial. So if we want to buy a license, that's price expensive.
So after 30 day, again we can create a new account, huh?
Yes, you have to create a new one, yes, with another email account. And
Are
you
you
don't have to worry. So whatever
covering the data vault here?
I'm sorry,
Are you covering data vault?
data vault?
Yeah. Are you covering that?
No, I'm not.
Because now the industries are moving to the data vault, right? Whether any of the cloud and all that, right? So instead of dimension modeling, right? So they are doing the data vault, right? So in that we need to move that, right?
So you mean to say data mart or you said data
I'm
vault?
talking about data vault, VAULT vault.
Vault. Okay, so yeah, I'm not covering that. So we're going to talk about like a data warehouse project, same like a dimensions and fact loading.
No, actually, what happened, right? These are the in the legacy we are using the dimension and the fact, right? So now we are moving to the agile, right? So
Yes.
we are going through the data vault, right? So in that, what happened, right? Suppose suppose we want to add one more fact table or dimension, right? So where we can put, so it will not impact our existing modeling, right? Suppose the client changed some requirement, the existing code is running from last 1-2 years, right? Suddenly he wants some changes.
Yes.
The 6 months again he wants some changes, right? So we are using the data vault for that, right? So there we are using, instead of fact and dimension, we are using the hub and satellites.
Okay, so I see what you mean. So you're talking about agile methodology, right? So where you will have the flexibility to work on this sprint by sprint basis, and you cannot interrupt the existing code. Is that
No,
what
no,
you're
no,
saying?
no, Mahesh, I understood. That is the way of doing the sprint and all that, right? Zero sprint, then sprint one for 15 days and all that, right? No, we are talking
Yeah.
about the project, right? Suppose we started the project, say today we have a customer dimension and the fact and product dimension, right? So tomorrow our business grows,
Mm-hmm.
right? Some new requirement comes, right? So in the existing
Yeah.
modeling, I need to again revisit the model again, right?
Correct.
So, but
I see what you mean. Yeah.
so in the agile, what we are doing, right? Suppose we are done the something, right? One story, right? And they have some changes, right? So in the next story, we can do that, right? Otherwise, in the
Correct.
waterfall model, right? Once the product deploy, everything done, sign off, then it will come as a change request, right? So that data vault is covering or not actually that satellite hub. Instead of creating the fact tables, right? Here we are creating the satellite hub and link tables.
Yes. So using this Informatica, we can have that flexibility of loading what tables, at the same time or in a parallel based on the data model. So it might
Okay,
decreases
okay.
dependency sometimes, right?
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. So you joined at late. So do you
Yeah,
have any
I
experience on the
sorry.
PowerCenter before? What's your
No,
name and
I don't have a. Actually, I am working in Python and all that, right? So
okay.
this is new for me. Actually, Informatica itself is the new for me. I have
Okay.
little idea on the talent.
Talent. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your name again?
My name is Vicky. Actually,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So at the beginning, I asked everyone to uh, name and the experience that they have. Okay.
okay. Yeah, please continue.
Okay. Thank you. So these are the key terms like source, target. So source is something where your data resides, like the where the data is originating from. So the target is where you want to load your data to. So task is nothing but actually, there are multiple tasks right now in the Informatica Cloud. So if I have to talk about a specific thing, so task is nothing but a session in Informatica PowerCenter. Okay. So connection is like you're trying to connect to something. So if you want to connect to any database or any file or any cloud application, right? So you need to create some connection between those two so that connection can be used to pull the data or to load the data. So that is why we create some connections, right? So organization, so these are the key terms which we are going to use in this training. So that is why I just listed them. So organization meaning this cloud arc. So every client, they have their own arc. Uh, when we take our licensing, so we have our own arc as well. Okay. So it comes with a licensing. So these are the companies that are actually using IICS currently for their businesses. So these are the major companies, major clients, what they have. But there are tons of other clients that I cannot list here. There are more than 50,000 clients as they claim on a World Conference. So IICS has more future, and it's really easy to learn. And I got this from a in-date page. So the average annual salary is like 6 lakhs per annum on a Informatica Power Center. But on the cloud, right? So its base salary is like a 15 lakhs, depending on your experience. So this is just for a 3 years or a 4 years, which I got the data from the LinkedIn and in-date. Okay.
Mahesh,
So
for 2 years experience, how much we get on IICS?
I think around 8 lakhs we should expect.
Okay, only for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mahesh, I have actually a 12-year experience in the IT industry, and currently I'm handling a team for the Python migration, Snowflake, and all that, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
what about this cloud, right? So, I have not much knowledge on the cloud side actually. So, do we need any cloud expertise on this?
You don't actually. You don't need that cloud expertise on to start this training. So you never work with any cloud like AWS, Redshift, or
No, actually, I work on
Microsoft
the
GCP?
cloud, right? But only the related to data services, right? Like S3 bucket and the Azure. I use the blob blob
Mhm.
storage and all that, right? So basically, what is the
Okay.
prerequisite for this course actually? That's my question.
Prerequisite is just to know basic understanding of Informatica PowerCenter, the previous on-premises tool, which is like Informatica PowerCenter. So if you know that tool before, like at least a basic understanding of what is a PowerCenter, that is the prerequisite. Even if you don't have that, I mean, if you are currently working with any of the databases, right? So that should be good enough for you to start something on this cloud. But for the freshers, right? So they should know what is a PowerCenter first. But for the experienced guys, they can relatively easily cope up on the cloud because they are already using some of the cloud or some of the databases are already. So it's not going to be a tough one. So it's really a easy one, I would say.
So suppose myself, I don't know the power center, right? So we are going to cover the power center some class.
No. So I
Then,
actually provided PowerCenter trainings before, so I do have those recordings with me. So if anybody needs that, at least the guys who doesn't know PowerCenter, so I just wanted to give you the access so that they can quickly go through or at least first 1 or 2 weeks
So,
of
like for
business.
example, in the power center, we have a lookup, right? Sorter transformation, router, and all that, right? I know
Yes.
some kind of thing, but I have no hands-on experience on that actually. I didn't got a chance on the Informatica power center, but little bit knowledge. I need to brush up that thing. So that will be come in the part of cloud also, like we have a lookup or
Yes.
something.
Yeah. So I will tell you each and every transformation in the cloud actually. Yes. So that is why you don't need basics on
Okay.
the power center.
So
So
no,
all you
so
have
no
to know
need,
is what is
so no
power.
need to go for the power center. I can directly cop up with the cloud, right?
Yes, correct.
So
Because I'm
one
going
more,
to cover all
one
these
more.
transformations
Okay.
again. So
So this is a, licensing right software. So I can suppose I want to propose this to my client, right, for the moving the things to from the Redshift or Snowflake instead of going there. We can propose for the Informatica Cloud, right? So is it costly there that the product or how is that?
so it's not that costly compared to power center actually. So it's actually pay for what you use. So it depending on how much volume you are going to use, how many services you're going to use. So it's how that is. So I'm not sure how big your project is. So it depending on the data that you have or the services
So
or the
so this is also working on the pay as you use, right? That concept only,
yeah,
like now in the market, other tools are there.
other
Like
tools meaning
like Snowflake is there, right? So how much you
yeah,
are
so
using, how much you are storing, that much you have to pay.
correct.
Okay, okay. Fine.
So similar to Snowflake actually. So similar to Snowflake and also the so you have Amazon AWS Glue. So in the AWS side and in the Azure side you have ADF, Azure Data Factory.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, we're going to cover those Informatica Power Center transformations, all the basics that we were doing on the PowerCenter, right? So I'm going to cover each one of the transformation in the cloud. If you know what is a PowerCenter, that's good enough for you to start something on this cloud. Okay. So any questions before I show you the quick overview of PowerCenter Informatica Cloud? Do you guys have any questions?
So after end of this training, like how much experience we can try on this IICS, whatever the training you are giving, like.
So you can easily say like 4 years of Informatica Cloud experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, okay.
So basically, Informatica Cloud itself started like not more than 7 years. So you cannot claim we have like a 10 years, right? So you can easily go for a 3 to 4 years of experience on the cloud, and rest of the experience that you had on a PowerCenter, that should be good enough for you to, get a job.
So after this training, right, are you going to cover any some project one pipeline that we can propose that, right?
Yes. So
Suppose
yeah,
sure-
I'm going to
suppose I'm
give you the
sure-
project. Yes.
Suppose I'm showing as a 4 year, as you say that, right? Because I have a 10 years, 12 years experience. So I'm planning to show that 4 years, right? So for the 4 years, I need to show something I have done something work on that, right? At least. So are you going to cover that or no?
Yes, I'm going to give you the project. Yes.
So no,
So I have to
we are going to
me,
give either we can implement that same project or what?
So we cannot directly implement that during the training because so I have to do that at the end of it. So once you know the topics, right, you can actually implement it. So I have clear instructions on the project. So you just have to get the data and create a connections, and you can start working on it. I mean, I have every documentation on how to work on the project.
Okay, so each mapping, how we are doing, right, and how to prepare the documentation for this, right? Like mapping document.
That way we have this mapping specification documents, right? So I have.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Mahesh, can you go to the 5th slide? What you showed, that one.
Fifth one, this one.
Yes. Like what my doubt is, there are only 6 services are there, no?
Yes.
So IICS providing only these 6 or any more, Mahesh?
So it's services, meaning it providing these services as a whole, but under these services you have more than 6 actually. So these are the sits on the top. So under this data quality, right? So you have a data profiling where comes in a different service as a different one.
Okay.
So these are like I would say root services, but under this same services you have multiple services involved.
Okay, and
But as a whole, they are
application
offering 36. Yes.
Application integration comes under which one? Data integration.
Yes. I mean, data integration, I think I didn't include that, but they treat that as a data integration itself. So you will have a separate service in a cloud actually.
Once again.
Integration.
Once again.
I'm sorry.
Can you repeat this once again?
Repeat. So data cloud application integration comes under this bucket only. That's what they claim.
Okay.
Under the data integration service. Yeah.
Okay, Mahesh, thanks.
So earlier they used to, before this even IICS in 2018, so they used to say CLAIRE application. So CLAIRE is like intelligent, so they have their AI application features. So right now they just moved everything from CLAIRE to IICS. Now they moved everything to IICS to IDMC. So they just keep changing and they keep rebranding everything.
Okay, before IICS it is CLAIRE, eh?
It's CLAIRE, yeah.
Okay.
So in 2018, when I attended that conference in Vegas, so they were just talking about Claire. So, but nobody was interested in Claire at that point in time. But when they moved to Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services, that's when they get to, clients.
Okay. When this IICS started, Mahesh?
So it's actually 5 years from now, but nobody started using. I mean, I see most of them using like 1 or 2 years from last 2 years, I would say. People started
Okay.
using it.
Before
Yeah.
that, they are using to like PowerCenter, no?
PowerCenter itself, yes.
Okay. Before Claire, it is PowerCenter.
Yes.
Okay.
So these are all the services. So this is Informatica Cloud. I'll just give you a quick overview. So this is the Informatica Cloud. So you don't have to go with the PowerCenter, application designer, monitor, right? So you will have this website. All you have to
Mahesh,
do
sorry to
is,
interrupt you. Mahesh, are we dealing? Yeah. Mahesh, are we dealing with the
Yeah.
streaming data also? Yeah, I mean streaming data.
training data, meaning I have my own data.
No, Kafka. We are talking about the Kafka
Platform. Yes, we will
Means,
use that. Yeah.
No, NiFi, and my data is coming from NiFi, Kafka, or
yeah, means
Amazon.
Twitter,
No, we're not.
Facebook.
No.
So can we handle it in IICS?
We can actually, yes.
For
But
that we need to use any interfaces such that, or we have that plugin
no,
directly here.
you'll have to go for take the additional connection. So it provides the add-on connections. So every connection comes with a 30-day free trial. So I'll show you how to register for those connections. So all you have to do is just search for that. It offers more than 65 plus connections currently, Informatica Cloud. So I'm sure it must be there. So all you have to do is add on that plugin, add on that connection, and just connect to that.
Okay, Mahesh, thank you.
Okay.
Mahesh, are you going to cover data dynamic mapping task?
Data dynamic mapping task.
Dynamic mapping task.
So are you talking about Informatica data quality dynamic mapping?
No, in IICS level, in the tasks we have separate, right? Synchronization task, replication task.
Yes.
Data dynamic mapping task.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Yes, I will talk about that. Right.
Thank you.
So even in the mapping, actually, they actually provided, the dynamic mapping. I will explain that. Yes. So this is the UI for just, I'll give you a quick overview. I know we are past 10 minutes. I'm just going to quickly do this. So you will have your own, website link, which comes with the Informatica Cloud. So if you click on this data integration on top left corner, and if you, so I just took this Informatica Cloud free license for this data integration. So when you take that data integration, right, it comes with these 3 additional services, administrator and monitor. So earlier we used to have a repository manager and Informatica admin console, right? So we don't need to do everything. So all sits in one cloud now. So you have a monitoring services where you can monitor your jobs or the Informatica workflows. So we call that as task flows in Informatica Cloud. So it's very slow. So I would recommend every one of you to open that in a Informatica incognito mode. So it will be faster rather than doing it in a normal one. So if I click on this show all services, so you can see all the services that Informatica offers. So if you want to explore any of the other services, right, so you can get a free trial. So for the API manager, API portal, and application integration, so I'm going to take a free trial on this application integration part to talk about the CAI. So it offers with a 30 days. So when I take that application integration, right, so these will be enabled. So right now I'm not doing it because I'm not covering that here. So these are the other services they have. So mass ingestion, so that is what I have in the demo, but it's already late. So mass ingestion is something, you can move data quickly from one place to another place. So there are 3 different types of mass ingestion. So let me just quickly go through this first. So this is how the UI looks like on the data integration. So you can see how your project overviews and recent projects and assets, meaning whatever it's like a mappings or workflows or sessions which we create, right? So we call those as assets in cloud. And on this side, jobs, so meaning the monitor, workflow log, workflows, mapping session. So you can, if you run anything, it will show here. So runtime environment, so you have a cloud hosting agent, so which is by default. If you want to deal with any cloud databases like the Salesforce, AWS, everything, so that can be used to a cloud hosted agent. But if you want to try connect to any of your local databases, so you need to install this. I will show you that. So this is like a local secure agent, which will enable us to connect from our local databases to our Informatica Cloud. So that is what this local secure agent is for. So let me give you an administrator overview. So somebody was talking about the connections, right? So if I click on a new connection, it can offer, so these are the default connections that Informatica Cloud offers. The flat file, FTP, MS Access, SQL, Oracle, right? So these are the comes with by default. But if you want any additional connectors, like you were talking about this training data and Azure, right? So you can go on this add-on connectors. So Informatica offers a variety of connections. So all you have to do is search for your connector and then just do a start free trial. So when you do a free trial, it will ask you for, it will give you like a 30 days free trial. See, I have a AWS. There are like a Redshift connectors. So you can connect your Redshift database using the Informatica Cloud. You just have to. So when you take this free trial, right? So you have to get the AWS Redshift details like the server, S3 keys, S3 bucket details, right? So you can connect to any database, actually, any cloud systems. So we're going to use this Salesforce connector in this training, and also Oracle or this MySQL and flat files in this training. So it's not, I mean, if I tell you one connector, it doesn't mean you just have to stick with one. If you are already working with AWS Redshift, right, so you can start exploring the Redshift as well. So it's not going to be that tough. So all you have to do is just register for a free trial and set up that connection and start loading the data. Okay. So runtime environment, I was telling you that was cloud hosting agent, which will enable us to connect all the cloud services, but the local service agent, local secure agent, we have to install this. So if you see top right corner, so download secure agent. So if you install this, right, there will be one .exe file, and then you can install it. This will enable us to connect to our local Oracle databases or any database that you have in your local. So I'm going to cover this on a real-time basis because I'm already working on this IICS. So I will, this will be like a real-time training. So, and I will help you with the Informatica interview questions as well. I mean, what type of questions they might ask on the IICS interviews. So I will give you the interview questions while doing it. Let me show you the curriculum before we go. So the curriculum that I have, any questions so far? So if you click on this, right, the new tab here, So these are like a different tasks. We have mapping tasks, synchronization tasks, masking tasks. But if you want to create any mapping, right, so you just go here and create a mapping. So it comes like this. So source and target are already defined, but you just have to modify your properties to which source you're going to connect and which target you're going to connect. And these are the transformations. I'm sure some of you already know. So filter, all you have to do is just drop in between those lines. So I'll go through this again, but I'm just showing you how this mapping looks like. The joiner transformation, lookup transformation, right? So this is the mapping in the PowerCenter. So if you run anything, it will come under this My Jobs. So explore, these are like a project. So it's like a repository, So under this projects, you can create your own folders, which will be like a project folders or some folders for our own to save our Informatica objects. Okay. So any questions before I wind up?
Mahesh, how do we get a knowledge on the databases, like some of the databases there? No?
Meaning you want to explore the new ones?
Yeah, like I don't even the flat file and any database we are using in a mapping. So how do we know about that one? So how do we get a knowledge on SQL Server and this is Salesforce, all these sources what
So
we are
you
using?
didn't work with any SQL before, any database?
No, Mahesh, that's why I'm asking. I don't have
So
any prior
okay.
knowledge.
Yeah, so that is what I'm saying. So anybody doesn't have this prior experience, right? So I do have the Informatica PowerCenter sessions recorded. So in that first week of that sessions, I actually covered Oracle basics, Oracle, and what we're going to talk about Oracle, right? So Oracle basics I have covered. So how to create a table, how to insert the data, how to read the data. So I covered almost most of the things that we need for the training. So I can give you the access for that Oracle classes, and I can give you the PowerCenter classes access as well. So
Okay. That Oracle session is different, Mahesh, from PowerCenter.
yeah.
Okay.
So, but it's not that tough, Pujita. It's just the basics, even if you go to like w3schools.com, they have their own, SQL basics on that website.
Oh.
So, but you can just take a look at my videos. I actually covered what we needed, so it will be easy. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mahesh, are we covering SCDs and incremental loads, such things?
Yes,
Are we
we're going to
covering all
cover
this?
that. Yeah, we're going to cover that. That's needed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And for certifications, do we need certification on this? Is it helpful for the interviews or not required certification on this?
So you want to do the certification, Ravi?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually doing certification myself. So I will give you a dump if I can get it. I mean, and I will give you the training on. So this training covers the part. You can easily get the certificate as well. I mean, you have to take the certification course as well, right?
Yeah. Means once this course completes, then I'm planning on this.
You can.
certificate.
Yeah. I mean, if you do a little bit practice of it, you can do it.
Yeah. That this course will helpful, right, for to clear the certificate.
Yes, this will be helpful, right? I'll cover most of the topics, so you don't need something new out of any other.
Oh,
These videos recordings also will be provided for us.
Yes, it will be provided. So I will record every session and I will provide classes and the Google Drive. So I will provide that in a drive. So you should be able to.
So how long it will take, Mahesh, to the duration of this course?
So I'll cover in 30 hours. So So every day I'll do like a 1 hour session, 7 to 8 a.m. So if that timing is okay with every one of you, so I'm planning for 7 to 8 a.m. back starting from Monday, and So this is the curriculum that I have. So I didn't include the CAI here, but I'm going to include that, and I'll send the updated one because I'm going to cover the CAI as well. So don't think I'm not doing it. So I will send this PDF with everyone interested to join. So these are the topics that I'm going to cover on this training. So this doesn't include any CAI, but I will include the CAI topics as well. I'm going to take like at least 4 to 5 sessions on the CAI to go over the APIs, how to connect to one application. So any other questions?
Mahesh, it is too early to ask. In IICS, if we have huge amount of data to load to targets, from source we are getting huge amount of data. To optimize